struck by a spectator.
Yeah, from what I heard, that's what happened. Someone attacked him from the crowd. But I didn't see it, so I have to see it again. But yeah, shame that things like that can happen in a football.
It was difficult. It was difficult to come back after you conceded two goals. But especially when we conceded the first goal, we had the possibility to level the game with Sonny, and I think the keeper made a fantastic save. And then they scored the second goal. I think this goal could kill everybody, but not my players, because then in the second half I think that we tried with a big effort to score, to create problems at Arsenal. I think that the keeper made a fantastic save today, and yeah, you know, and Arsenal is a difficult opponent now, and like Manchester City, I think both teams are they are going to contend to be title contenders until the end to win the Premier League. And today we played against a strong team, but at the same time I think that I have not great disappointment for the commitment of my players. I think that they showed a great pride, great desire, great will to try to come back. But sometimes in the past we did this, and today I think also the keeper was really good to avoid to concede a goal for yeah.
You're absolutely right. Aaron Ramsdale was named the player of the match for the number of saves he made. But put simply, do you think today you just have to admit that Arsenal were the better team?
But for sure, Arsenal, I think that also today, also tonight, they showed to be a really good team, and I think honestly, and also I'm sure that today it wasn't easy for them to play against us, especially with this atmosphere. And instead they showed to have a great balance, and to eat in the right moment, and then to suffer also in the second half, because they suffered a lot and they showed the resilience. And when a team is good to do this, it means that they are ready to fight to win the title. And I think with Manchester City, they are the only two teams that they are going to fight for the Premier League this season.
You're fighting for a place in the Champions League right now, 5 points away from that as we speak. Do you see enough with the players you have here now and the way that you have played so far this season that you can qualify for the Champions League, or does that feel like a big space for you to catch up?
But I think first of all that we have to try to do our best, to continue to work really hard, and the end of the season we'll see which is our position for sure, and for a Champions League plays or a Europe plays, and there are teams like Chelsea, like Liverpool, United, and now Newcastle. But also in England there are a team like Brighton, Brentford. I don't want to forget some teams, and it's really difficult. It became difficult because I repeat, every team, every club can spend money, and you go to play against a team that you think this is medium low, and instead you find important players that play with the national team. I said in the past, and I don't want to repeat, and it will be a difficult season. But at the same time, we have to try first of all to recover all the players, because today I was happy to see into the pitch again Deki, Kulusevski, and also Ricci for 20 minutes. I opened the next game to recover Rodrigo Betancourt. Lucas Moura, honestly, I don't know how long time, how much he needs to recover. But I think this is the first step. And at the same time, I think that in this period, in this difficult period, we found players like Papasar, like Gil, and also Skip. He recovered from his injury that can help us.
What brought it about?
Everything. I love the way we played, the courage that we showed to come here and play the way we played. And obviously, we have a job. We can make a lot of people happy. And I'm sure tonight we made a lot of Arsenal fans very happy.
I'm sure your side made you happy too as well. What in particular did they do for you today?
Not for me. It's the way we
not for you, but for you, not for you personally.
Everything that we ask them, they are so willing always to try to do it. It's a terrific group of players. But today I think we went another step. Obviously we won this season, last season in bigger stadiums, but especially the way we won today, I think it's very pleasing to watch.
Was it the character your players showed, the bravery, if you like, to play their style of football away from home at ground, which, as you well know, because you're in the team, you haven't won, not this particular ground, at Spurs since 2014?
Yeah, which I was here, but it shows, again, not only determination and courage is great, but then you need to have the belief and then you have to have the quality to do against this team what we've done today. So that's down absolutely to the players.
Did you also do the ugly side of the game well today in terms of the hard work, the hard graft, the defending, as well as popping the ball around?
Yeah, we were really aggressive. I think we were really intense in our high press. We regained so many balls. We won so many duels. We managed those balls. After that's really good. There are a couple of moments they're going to create you chances and openings, and they are a very dangerous team. But I think overall we did a lot of good things today.
Now, I don't want to spoil your day. It's a fantastic day. 8 points clear at the top of the table, but you have lost out on a transfer target that you were heavily linked with, Mudryk. How disappointed are you about that?
I'm very proud to have the players that we have. We always want to improve the squad. The club is the first one that is trying to do everything we can to improve the players, but I think as well we have to have some discipline, you know, and we have to be very consistent in the targets that we want, but as well what we are able to do in each moment, and we can get those players better. So let's focus on that.
Have you got enough, though? Have you got enough players here now? Because you fell short last season, you didn't have enough options. Is it vital, if you like, not get carried away, but you're top of the table right now, but as you know, those leads can disappear very quick, and there's a lot of football to be played. Do you need more numbers? That's
what I said yesterday, that obviously we had some injuries and some long-term injuries, and this is not helpful, but we can focus on tomorrow, train better, review the game, and go day by day. The window is open. We will try to improve the team, but there are a few parties that always are involved, and the club is willing, and they have my support, I have their support, and we will try to do it together.
I must ask you as well about the incident involving Aaron Ramsdale at the end, where he was kicked by a supporter. What's your view on what happened?
No view, because I haven't watched it. What I watch is a great game of football, and this is what I want to talk about.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's just deal with the individual who kicked Aaron Ramsdale. Tottenham, after the game, issued a statement saying that violence has no place in football, and went on to say that they will take the strongest possible action against that individual, including an immediate ban from the stadium. The Premier League also issued a statement backing the club and backing the course of action that they plan to take.
Yeah, whoever he is, if he hasn't already had a knock on the door, he'll be getting one sometime soon, if not tomorrow morning, off the police, and he'll be banned for life from football stadium, and so he should be. Unacceptable.
Right, as far as the game is concerned, because it was a great afternoon for Arsenal, and we'll look at the tactical battle very shortly, but these things can turn on the performances of a couple of individuals as well.
Well, I thought it was a tale of two goalkeepers, one who's full of confidence, playing really, really well in Ramsdale, and the other one, Lloris, who's had a great career but is really struggling for form and put his team under huge pressure again. And he's made errors, not the first this season. This is after 5 minutes, panicking or doesn't know whether to kick it long or whatever it is. Puts his team under pressure. You don't want that. Okay, he recovers well with a decent save, but it's him that actually starts that move. And then this is where, I mean, it's just I know it takes a little deflection off Sessegnon, but still, a Premier League goalkeeper, that shouldn't be going in the back of the net like that. Reaction should be quicker, and it can't be. And then all of a sudden, they're under huge pressure, or Tottenham, because of that. The second goal doesn't get any favours off his defender Romero by turning his back, but that's 25 yards out, and it's a yard inside the post. And if that's Ramsdale or Pope or Alisson or Edison, I don't think that those goalkeepers allow that in the back of the net. But on the other hand, the guy at the other end, he made some really good saves. That is, he's sharp out. Despite the dominance of Arsenal in the first half, he still had to make a couple of really good saves. And again in the second half, that's one you'd expect him to make. Another decent save, right height for him. Same thing again here from Richarlison, does really well, cuts it back on his right foot, and he's down sharp to his left-hand side. I've mentioned the good saves. This is the great save from Sessegnon. He stands up, makes himself really big. That's such an important save, that is. Going in the back of the net and sticks that left leg out. And it was a superb performance from him.
Do you think a goalkeeper struggling for form induces more nerves, both from teammates and fans, than maybe any other position, from your experience?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's such an important position, isn't it? And you're seeing mistakes
you can,
like that.
You can sort of hear the intakes of breath when it goes back to him.
Just even when Lloris got that ball, after I highlighted that after 5 minutes, you could hear the panic, if you like, in the stadium.
We talked about, or I mentioned that we were going to look at the tactical battle, which was very much won by Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are a terrific side, technically. We know that, playing well. But the way Conti sets up this Spurs team tactically, it creates a negative mindset for me in the Spurs players. They go out onto the pitch, generally pragmatic, defensive, whoever they play, and I don't think the players are enjoying it. I don't think they are. It's this is how they set up: 5 at the back against Arsenal's 3. Now the problem is with that, of course, when the wing backs are asked to do a job on the wide men, is you get an overload. And when you've got an overload of 7 versus 5 with the technical ability of Arsenal, you're creating a problem. Now initially, some of the Tottenham midfielders trying to have a go, trying to have a press, but they got picked off really quickly in the game. Good play from Zinchenko, who was terrific today, by the way. In fact, you could have said that about a lot of Arsenal players. This doesn't lead to anything, but it shows how they got out. So what they did is they dropped off. There's the 5 in a straight line. Shouldn't be that way. Not really marking. They're more in zonal. There's the 4 dropping off because they can't get near Arsenal because of the overloads I've been talking about. This is a North London derby, by the way. Arsenal look like they're playing in a testimonial. They're having 2, 3 touches. Look at the space Xhaka's in. Gets his head up, takes his time. I'll give it Partey, see what he can do, back in. Where's the engagement? Look, players have a responsibility at times to dismiss what the manager's telling you and have an impact on the game, I think. And this is unbelievable for the goal. Partey looks forward. Look, there's the 5. There's the 3 Arsenal players. He can pass to any of them. They're free. Yeah. He's got all the time in the world. Drop off. No, they're too high, and they're not even seeing the run of one of the quickest wingers in the league. Someone who's brilliant one-on-one. He's got into the Tottenham box here, and they haven't done anything, Arsenal. Yes, it's a poor mistake, but you can't be that passive in a game of football, in a North London derby especially. Yeah. And again, there's your 5, there's your 3. Overloads in front. The midfield, to be fair, don't have a chance. Sometimes you can leave a derby and think some of the players don't look like they care, they didn't run about enough. They couldn't do anything. There was too many players around the midfield at times. They're chasing shadows. They got a bit better in the second half when they're climbing a mountain. Overloads at the back. Get away with it there. Good header out. And then Partey, look how much space he's got. I mean, he doesn't strike that very well, to be fair. But I think tactically in football, you can give the players something to at least, to get them excited. Like, come on, let's have a go today. Use their energy, use the athleticism, use their skill, use their freedom. The players don't look like they're enjoying it. Because
that's the thing as a fan. You know, you showed several examples there, and as a fan, particularly in a derby, you would be screaming at your players, go on, get stuck in, move, go on, engage them.
Well, that's what Conte would have been saying to his players at half-time, and it did improve a little bit in the second half when they're chasing the game. They've got no choice. They've got to open.
But how many times, Al?
Yeah.
But what you're saying is it's not really their fault in that situation because of how they're set up.
They're international footballers.
Yeah.
And sometimes in a game, you've been told to act or set up a certain way. You're getting popped. You're getting dominated, and you have to make some decisions. You have to make some decisions. And there wasn't enough leaders on that pitch to try and change the dynamic. Now, you could argue don't go against the manager, but when you're that passive in the first half of a game, you've got to do something.
It's a big lead for Arsenal at the top of the table now. It's 8 points. By the way, we're just showing the top two because we've still got Newcastle to show you. It's not because we think it's just two teams in a title race, right? But we have a title race.
Well, Arsenal are flying. They're full of confidence, playing some incredible football, and do you know what they had a bit about them today as well. You know, when Spurs came back into it in the second half, they were up for the fight and up for the battle.
Two centre halves, great, weren't they?
Yeah,
still have to play Manchester City twice though,
and United
as well next week. And Newcastle.
They're looking good, though, and Newcastle.
Well, let's not run through the whole of the Arsenal fixture list. Right.